Hey students, good morning once again and welcome back to Easy English Explanation by Pooja Joshi. My channel, your channel. So, this is the second and concluding part of the poem A Legend of the Northland, Standard 9 Beehive Textbook, Lesson number 5, Poem. So, in the previous part, we had already read the poem once, knew something about the poet, then we had done the explanation. We were over with the explanation of the first page, A Legend of the Northland. Let me revise and tell you something about it again, and then we will continue further with the poem. So, in the first page, we had seen that one very miserly lady refuses to give even a smallest piece of cake to the saint who came at her door and who was very hungry, and he was about to faint as he was traveling throughout the day preaching to the people. He was very hungry and he asked a piece of cake from the lady. She could not give him a single tiniest piece of cake. And how she was punished by the saint's curse. What happened? Let's see now. So she made a very little cake, but as it baking lay, she looked at it, though it seemed too large to give away. So she made a very little cake as the saint had asked him for a small piece of cake. Saint Peter had travelled whole day. He was preaching religious things and now he was very hungry. He didn't eat anything for the whole day. He asked something to eat from the lady. So when she make a very little amount of cake, and when she put it for the baking, she found that the piece was too large to give it away. She thought that I have made a very large piece of cake, though she had not done so, but she felt such. But as it baking lay, she looked at it and thought it appeared to her that it was too large to give that saint away, that piece of cake. She was not able to give that piece of cake to the saint. She was not able to depart with that piece of cake. Therefore she needed another, and still a smaller one. But it looked, when she turned it over, as large as the first had done. Now she needed yet another. Roll out a piece from the dough, and she still smaller than the previous one, that is the second one. When she tried to bake for the saint, again when it was baked, when she turned it over, flipped to the other side, she found, oh, it's also quite as large. Oh, why am I baking such large cakes to give it to a poor saint? She could not part it from that cake even. She made still smaller than the previous one. Even that, she was so greedy, she was so miserly lady, she was not able to give that smaller piece even to the saint. Then she took a tiny scrape of dough and rolled it flat and baked it as thin as a wafer, but she couldn't part with that. Then she still took a tiniest possible scrape. Scrape means the tiniest of little bit, almost negligible part of dough. And she rolled like we are rolling out the rotis or chapatis, and rolled it flat to make it look bigger. Actually, it was not bigger, but to make it look bigger for the saint, she thought that she will roll the tiniest piece of cake and baked it as thin as a wafer. Wafer you must have eaten all. It's so thin. And even she tried to make cake like a wafer. But even then, her greediness could not part away with that cake. She didn't give even that third piece of baked cake to the saint, and saint was waiting and waiting just for a little bit piece of cake. Imagine her greediness. She was not able to give a tiny piece of cake to that Saint Peter. For she said, "My cakes that seem too small, when I eat of them myself, are yet too large to give away." So she put them on the shelf. She made cakes one by one, smaller and smaller and smaller, but she was not able to give that cakes to the saint. She thought, when I make these cakes for eating myself, for me, then the cakes are seeming too small. Then when I want to give it away, then they are seeming too large. I don't know why I am so generous and why I baking such large cakes to give it away to a saint. When I have to eat, children, this also may happen with you. You see the other person's ice cream dish, then you will find that there is lot more than yours. You feel that mother has given or served more and more of some nice delicacies to your brothers or sisters, and mother has given to you a smaller quantity. But it's not so. This is only your imagination. Same way that lady also thought that my cakes, when I make for the others, then I am baking such a large cake, and for me I am baking very small cake. But that was not the truth, only her imagination. Then good Saint Peter grew angry, for he was hungry and faint, and surely such a woman was enough to provoke a saint. Saint Peter was just waiting. When she kept on baking cakes one by one, Saint Peter was just waiting when she would come and she would give the cake to him. He was hungry and faint. Faint here, not exactly faint, but about to faint of hunger and tiredness. Food gives us energy, you all know, children. And surely such a woman is enough to provoke. Provoke means, let's see the meaning of provoke. To make the saint angry, to do such type of work which will easily make somebody angry, to stimulate something, some emotion, strong emotion of somebody, a negative emotion of somebody, to do the things when easily somebody will get angry. Can you see the meanings here? Meaning of provoke. Now coming back to our poem topic. Yes. Then he was very, very angry. What he said? And he said, "You are far too selfish to dwell in a human form, to have both food and shelter and fire to keep you warm." Here, dwell means to live. To live in a human form, you are not suitable. Who has made you human? God has made a quite big mistake to make you born in a human form. You are not fit to be a human. To have both food and shelter. God has given you food, God has given you shelter and fire so that you can keep yourself warm. Remember, this is a legend of a cold country. Okay. Then, now you shall build as the birds do, and shall get your scanty food. Scanty. Yes, scanty means very, very negligible or less, almost like none, very less amount, very meager amount. Scanty means very, very less amount. By boring and boring and boring, all day in the hard dry wood. Now Saint is very very angry. Saint started giving her a curse, a shrap, telling something bad, or wishing bad for that lady. Now that lady shall turn into a bird, and she will build the whole day as the birds do and get scanty food, very very less food she will get, and that too by boring and boring and boring. Here boring means not that boring which we get bored, which we don't feel interested, that times we feel bored. It's not that bored, it's bored like a bird with beak. It's trying to just make a hole in the hard dry wood. So birds like woodpecker, they drill the wood of the tree. They continuously touch their beak against, hit their beak against the wood of the tree, and by boring and boring and boring, you should get from the hard dry wood you should get your food. Means she will stay like a bird, she will become a bird, she will be boring whole day in the hard dry wood which hurts one's beak, and then only she will get very very less or scanty food. Then up she went through the chimney, never speaking a word, and out of the top flew a woodpecker, for she was changed to a bird. Now without any wasting a second, now the curse had immediate result or the effect, and she was changed to a woodpecker, and she flew out directly from the chimney. Like chimney, you can see here chimney like this kind, from which that smoke and gases come out. It is also placed near the, like in the factories, in the house, kitchen also chimneys are there to take the excessive of that heat and smell and smoke and everything. So you can see the meaning here of chimney, a vertical channel or pipe, that is straight long channel or pipe which conducts smoke and combustion gases, flammable gases, which are burnt easily from a fire or furnace, and typically through the roof of a building, chimneys. Now see here, yes, can you see here, this woman, she has come out of the chimney and she has turned into a woodpecker. Okay, she has been turned, see here, into a woodpecker, and now she will bore in the hard dry wood for the whole day, and then only she will able to get her food. Now as far as last two paragraphs of the poem is concerned, we will start that now. In the last page of the poem, she had a scarlet cap on her head. Scarlet, here scarlet, what is the meaning of scarlet? Scarlet means red color. Here red color cap on her head she wore at that time. When the saint came and all this happened, she was wearing already a red color cap on her head, and that was left the same. Means her cap was as it is intact on her head. Even when she was turned into a bird, even then the cap was on her head and it remained as it is, and that was left the same. But all the rest of her clothes, when she was wearing at that time, what she was wearing, she came out from the chimney, so all her clothes were burned and as black as coal in the flame. She was left with only scarlet cap on her head, and she became a woodpecker. And every country schoolboy has seen her in the wood where she lives in the trees till this very day, boring and boring for food. Phoebe Carey means every country schoolboy. Country schoolboy means countryside, that is the rural area. Schoolboy from the rural area, countryside. Okay. They look at him, her, they find her always. She is there in the forest, in the trees, and she has to continuously hit her beak against the hard dry wood, and she has to continuously bore for getting a small portion of food. So sad for that lady who was turned into woodpecker by Saint Peter's curse. But what to do? It was her own greediness that made her change into a bird. It was her own such a bad gesture towards a hungry saint that anybody couldn't help it, and that was her fate. So I hope you must have easily understood the poem, and now let's say bye to each other. So bye bye. Hope to see you in the next session soon. I hope you must have liked my videos. Your comments are so valuable to me. Please give some comments. Okay, I'll try to improve myself more and more and make myself the best. So till then, see you. Goodbye.